Waka waka waka, what's up, and welcome back to the channel for yet another FC Finch video. That's right, one of the last videos of 2023, and what do you know, I'm showing my face on camera. I think I've only done it for the second time now. So that being said, the reason I'm showing my face is because we're going to do things a bit differently today. I'm going to get on the bandwagon that reviewers are getting on at this time of year and do a top 5 list, but I'm going to do it a bit differently. I'm going to give you the list of top 5 Transformers toys that I didn't buy in 2023, and I'm going to do this for a few reasons. So the first reason being is that I am planning on making some changes to this channel in 2024. I'm thinking about adding a few things such as segments like this. So I'm kind of making this video to gauge some early interest and see if my viewers like it and see if it's something that I personally like doing. Secondly, as you already know, I really don't collect from too many different companies. Also, every figure that I get pretty much goes into my personal collection. So while I review it, I'm buying it because I want to put it in my collection. It's a figure I determined I would like to have. That being said, I really can't go after all these figures, and I don't feel like if I were to make a top 5 best of list, it would really benefit everybody except, of course, myself to try and, get some, hey, look at my collection and all this good stuff. That being said, and the last reason is that, once again, I'm a collector, just like I'm sure many of you are. And as collectors, we all have those major constraints, two of the biggest being budget and space. The problem with where I'm trying to go with this is that I personally can't get my hands on every figure as much as I want to. I have to pick and choose. I have to scrutinize. I have to determine what I want. And as I'm sure that most of us do. So this is kind of factors that I go by and that maybe can help you, determine how you want to gauge if you want to figure in your collection or not. So that's why I want to go about this list. And before I do want to lay out a few ground rules for this list. Firstly, be advised that every figure I'm about to show you, they're all top hand figures from this year. They've all reviewers have liked them, all that good stuff. So just be advised, I am going to show a lot of these figures in this list. That being said, I have not personally had my hands on all of them. And just like most of you, I cannot simply go out there and pay for every figure that comes out. And really, I only have JJ, as not that I'm not saying only, I'm very thankful for JJ, but I only have JJ as far as getting mainline figures and other content to review. So, with regards to that, I have to always kind of make my decision without actually holding the figure, as I'm sure we all do. So that is one thing we're going to have to note here is that I've really not handled any of these figures. Everything that I'm telling you, I'm going off of what I see, what I think based off of other reviews that I saw, all that good stuff. Lastly, since these are all top figures, I'm not going to be bashing them, but I'm going to be giving my opinion as to why I don't think they have a spot in my collection. Do not take this as bashing. Again, these are all top figures. So if you bought it, if you love it, if other people love it, that's great. It belongs on your shelf. These are figures that I don't feel belong in my personal collection. So don't take offense to that. And of course, we can always generate discussion in the comments later. I'm always up for hearing what you have to say. That said, sit back, relax, and buckle up, Buttercup, because we are about to do the top 5 Transformers toys that FC Finch didn't buy in 2023. So, our runner-up in this group, yes, we have a runner-up, and that is because I have not 100% written this figure off yet. Our runner-up in this group is going to be Takara's MPM-14 Bone Crusher from the first 2007 Transformers movie. Here is my reservations about this figure. When I saw the first images of this figure, my mental perception of Bone Crusher has been always more of a tall and lanky character, more than the short and stubby version of the character that we got in the movie. Now, cut me a break because it's been a while since I see the 2000 film, and I know, I am not agreeing with how the official designed a toy of their own character. So, cut me a break here. My other reservation is that I was kind of also waiting for a reviewer to take a look at as well, namely Emgo, because Emgo has the TF Dream Factory tie-in of this character. And I remember the TFJ, it's been a while since I've seen that review, but I remember that figure being a bit more on the taller scale. Nevertheless, cutting to the chase, I did end up seeing his comparison, and I was almost completely sold on the MPM-14. I almost very much want one. However, I still kind of want to wait to see if a KO company like Wei Zhang, yes, I know KOs, oh my god, but nevertheless, Wei Zhang and other companies, they can do some really neat things with these MPMs. I want to see if they can make one with a bit better paint than we have with the official. So I'm kind of sticking around to see if that kind of comes out in the near future. So this figure may actually find its way on my shelf in some version of itself. It's just kind of a matter of when at this point, and that is why MPM 14 Bone Crusher is my runner-up for 2023 figures I didn't buy. Number 5, starting the list off, I'm going to go with ST01 Star Toys Commander, their third-party take on Blitzwing, and from what I hear being hailed, the best Blitzwing ever, as many other reviewers have stated. Now, I know people are going to hit me for this, but I gotta say it, I'm waiting on the fans' toys, and here's why. Let me explain myself. I do not care for the matte paint style that is used by Star Toy or Deformation Space or Transform Element, whatever you want to call it. I hear Star Toy is basically the designer from Transform Element, Deformation Space, but feel free to correct me in the comments. It seems to look very similar. And as such, I just don't care for that matte paint. It doesn't make the figure feel premium to me. I am more preferent of the more glossy, pearlescent styles that we see on figures from Fans Toys or Takara even in some cases. Now, I know what some comments may say if anybody comments on this video is, well, it would make a good placeholder. And you may be right. I'm not going to argue with that. But me personally, I'm trying to get away from placeholders in my collection. I really want to avoid buying a figure unless I'm going to 100% love it. Because to me, it's a burden when I have to buy a figure and I know I'm probably going to sell it as soon as the next best thing comes out, because now I gotta figure out, I gotta post the ad and all that. It can be just as much of a headache in and of itself, and I may even take a loss on it. Fun little fact about this: I did actually have an ST01 on pre-order for about a month when I first heard about it, and I canceled it because I came to terms with the fact that this is a figure that I probably wouldn't 100% love. So that being said, that is going to make my number 5 on this list, ST01 Commander. Moving on to number 4, we're going to do Ocular Max Tempo, their take on a masterpiece Steeljaw. But you could probably lump all of the Ocular Max cassettes into this, their Fuhrer, their Riot, their Pitch, their Motif, all of them. Take your pick. I'm not buying any one of them. And don't get me wrong, I love Ocular Max. Here's why I'm not going in on any of these characters. For me, and I stated this during my reviews of Acoustic Wave and their blaster, their recorder, excuse me, I just don't see the tape characters as anything more than accessories to the Motherbot, per se. It is more important to me that the cassettes actually fit in the chest of their respective Motherbot than it is for them to scale well or sculpt or have additional articulation. And because I see these as accessories, my mind is willing to dumb down my expectations of what these figures should be, because again, they are just accessories to me. So short story, that's going to make number 4 Ocular Max Tempo and his other cassette brothers. So we're at the halfway point. Woohoo, we made it. Number 3 on this list is going to be Make Toys, Jetstream, and Booster. Their take on a masterpiece Ramjet and Thrust. And hey, more masterpiece Coneheads. Who can argue with that? And Make Toys, these guys were kind of the talk of 2023 for a little bit midsummer or so, simply because they really haven't made anything for a while, as I understand it. So, and of course, it's been a while since we've seen their first release. I think it was Endgame. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I thought about these guys, but I wanted to wait for a review. And after I saw the review, there were a few nitpicks that I had, namely the wing position of Thrust's wings, or whatever the thrust is. You guys know better than I do. And so that made me kind of have reservations by getting in on them. Additionally, we very recently had MP52, which I love, released by Takara Tomy. We've also had MP57 Skyfire, which I also love, released by Takara Tomy. And Skyfire does borrow a little bit of engineering from the MP52s, namely the way the legs transform. And that's kind of put me under the impression that some Conehead 2.0s might be in the works. I'd struggle to think why they wouldn't at least be drawn up already for production some point in the next year or two. But nevertheless, I want to wait on that. I want to see if the official plans on moving forward with, since they're in Seeker mode for the most part, on releasing more Seekers, specifically the 2.0s of the Coneheads. So that is going to make number 3 Jetstream and Booster from Make Toys. Number 2 on this list might seem a little irrelevant because it's like recolor 2 or 3, whatever. You can let me know in the comments. It's going to be the Magic Square MS02 Toy Color Light of Peace, or their take on a Toy Color Optimus Prime masterpiece. And if you've watched my channel, and again, these are two of the most popular videos on my channel, you know that I've reviewed this figure twice already. I reviewed the MS02 and the MS02EX, and you wonder why I have given up on buying placeholders. So if you've seen those reviews, you know that I very much like the MS02. In fact, it's a great figure. It doesn't have all the things that check the boxes, but it's a toy that I can be a little rough with. I can transform it without having a butt pucker because I'm going to break a $500 toy, MP44, which I still also very much love as well. So that being said, if you saw my review about the MS02EX, I think it's a great figure. I just don't feel like it felt like a half-hearted attempt to be in terms of an improvement over the MS02. The plastic infused paint, the die cast without any supporting hardware, all that stuff. You can watch the review for my full thoughts on it. But that said, so that made me feel that this toy color was going to be more of the same. And don't get me wrong, I've seen the reviews on it. I think the paint looks awesome. I think it looks the best of all three of them. But I'm just so done with this mold. In fact, I gave my MS02EX to JJ, and now he has a masterpiece Optimus Prime that he can really enjoy. So again, that's going to put on my list at number 2 the Magic Square MS02 Toy Color Optimus Prime. And we're finally at number 1 on this list, and I don't think anybody's going to be surprised by this one. It is the Takara MPG Train Bots. Now, I know a couple of these came out in 2022, but we've had, I think 3 releases in 2023. I'm not sure if we're going to get Kayan by the end of the year. Nevertheless, and yeah, I'm just not interested in these figures whatsoever, and here's why. First off, I want to start off with my cardinal rule for my collection. When I got into this collecting for Transformers, I vowed that I was going to personally only collect seasons 1, 2, the movie, and nothing beyond that. In fact, the Headmasters from Fans Toys are the exception to the rule. That's because I think they look so badass. I got them for such a good price. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go in on them because I love the colors and I think they're great bots. Secondly, I really struggle to find anything good about these train bots. They don't look masterpiece at all. I don't think they're tall enough. I think there are I question some of the engineering choices, and that's saying something about Takara. Because, and again, Takara takes a lot of flack. I actually like a lot of Takara's products. I still think they make a very good Transformers action figure. But these, I just think, were a total miss as far as I'm concerned. I'm not sure who they're marketing to. I don't claim to know how Takara markets or that they know what they're going for with this. So I'm not going to say that they're making an entirely wrong move. It's just something I'm definitely not into. When the Moon Studios came out, I kind of had a thought that maybe I was going to get the Moon Studios for the Combiner and the MPGs for the robot, but I really don't even think that MPGs look good in combine or robot mode, and definitely not a $150 product. And I hate to bring price into this because, again, this hobby doesn't make any sense in terms of money. This is something we buy out of love. If money is a concern, we shouldn't be in this hobby. But again, I just don't think it feels like a $150 figure. And so that is why these Takara train bots are 100% I have zero plans of buying, and that's why they are my number 1 on this list. So there's my list of top 5 Transformers that I didn't buy in 2023. Man, it feels so weird not saying let's summarize at the end of a video, but nevertheless. So let me know in the comments, what are some figures that you personally didn't buy in 2023? And let me know, and it doesn't have to be Masterpiece. It can be Mainline, it can be Legends, whatever you are into, or figures that aren't even Transformers. Again, I kept this list very general. Also, let me know if you enjoyed this enough to where it's something you might want to see more of, and not just top 5s lists, but just general discussion, on a bi-weekly or monthly basis. And yes, I plan to do it for Eagle Moss as well. Yours is coming, Eagle Mossers, shortly after the start of the new year. I got a few topics that I want to talk about. We'll still do the reviews, definitely. I'll make a whole video on it shortly after the new year's, what I plan to do with this channel, but that's kind of the general skinny of it all. And of course, feel free to check out all my reviews, all my playlists. Just hit the channel icon, subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. Thank you so much to the 460 of those of you that are. Again, I'm super grateful. In about a year's time, get almost 500, and I'm stupid grateful for that. So don't think I'm not. It's awesome to have all your support. And it's also, when I read a lot of the comments, I'm very grateful for all of the compliments you guys give, and definitely if you guys correct me on stuff, that is awesome too. Again, I don't claim to know everything about all these lores. I follow so much that I really just can't get all the skinny details. And that's what I love about a lot of the collecting crowd, is that we all research these nitty gritty details, and I really like hearing a lot of this stuff. So definitely keep the comments coming. And once again, that's going to wrap it up for this video. So of course, have a happy new year. Thank you so much for watching. I have been FC Finch. Good night.